Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jaya mudirahe nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttamasloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki Krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopa kumaraya govindaya namo namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktitam. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Canto 10, Chapter 16, text number 9. Tam Prekshaniya Sukumara Ghana Avadatam Avadatam Srivassa Pita Pita Vasanam Smita Sundara Asyam Kridantam Apratibhayam Kamala Udara Angrim Sandhya Marmashu Rusha Bhujaya Chachada Tam Prekshaniya Sukumara Ganavadatam Srivassa Vasanam Smita Sundarashyam Kridantamapratibhayam Kamalodharangrim Sandhya Marmashurusha Bhujaya Chachada Tam Prekshaniya Sukumara Ganavadatam Srivasya Pita Vasanam Smita Sundarashyam Kridantamapratibhyam Kamalodharangrim Sandhya Marmashurusha Bhujaya Chachada Tam Prekshaniya Sukumara Ganavadatam Srivasya Pita Vasanam Smita Sundarasyam Kridantamapratibhayam Kamalodharangrim Sandhya Marmashurusha Bhujaya Chachada. Anyone want to repeat? Matajis. Since it is a pastimic lecture, I would read 9th and 10th because translation purport both. 9th, Kaliya saw that Sri Krishna, who wore yellow silken garments, was very delicate, his attractive body shining like a glowing white cloud, his chest bearing the mark of Srivasa, his face smiling beautifully, and his feet resembling the oval of a lotus flower. The Lord was playing fearlessly in the water. Despite his wonderful appearance, the envious Kaliya furiously bit him on the chest and then completely enwrapped him in his coils. 10. When the members of cowherd community who had accepted Krishna as their dearmost friend saw him enveloped in the snake's coils, motionless, they were greatly disturbed. They had offered Krishna everything, their very selves, their families, their wealth, wives and all pleasures. At the sight of the Lord in the clutches of the Kaliya snake, their intelligence became deranged by grief, lamentation and fear. Thus they fell onto the ground. Purport. Srila Sanatana Goswami explained that cowherd boys along with some cowherd men and farmers who happened to be in the vicinity and who were also devoted of Krishna fell to the ground just like trees that had been cut at the root. Let us start with prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Hena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namavom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Vancha Kalpataru Besha Kripa Shindu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas assembled here, especially His Grace Devakanandan Prabhu and other senior Vaishnavas. So, I am new to Juhu temple. I don't know many of the devotees' names. So, I will keep learning slowly. Today, I have been requested to speak on this pastime of Kaliya. So I need blessings of all devotees to repeat for my own purification and glorification of the Lord. If you remember, like in our Balram Jayanti, we had discussed the pastime of Dhenukasur. So after the Dhenukasur pastime, like one day Lord goes to Kalindi, means Yamuna river, to herd the cows. So, but that day, for whatever reason, it's not mentioned here, the Balramji was not there with him. Krishna and other Gopa friends go to the bank of Yamuna river. And just like when they're playing, they become thirsty. Like just like when we do some activity, after some time we feel need water. So all these Gopa friends, they went to the lake in the Yamuna river and they drank water. So after that they become like unconscious, as if they are lifeless. Krishna, when he sees his friends, he becomes very perturbed. Arey, what happened to my all my friends? Why they are lifeless? So then he understands that this water was contaminated by the poison. So that's how the pastime of Kaliya begins in our 10th canto. So when this pastime, we know that Kaliya was in different place, but due to the fear of Garuda, it enters the Yamuna, a river within Yamuna, so a lake within Yamuna. So then, because Kaliya entire, it is said, like different acharyas are giving different place. So it has many hoods. Like there are many sub-hoods, and there are 100 main hoods, and one principal hood, like something 1001 or like some say 1101. But nonetheless, there are 100 main hoods, and then one the principal hood. So with all these hoods, it had so much poison within the body. So in one of the shloka, it mentioned that it's like the noses are like the pots where the poison is cooked. Like every nostrils are there, the holes. So where the poison is being cooked. And eyes are like the fire blazing, like so much fire is coming from their eyes. So that's how the description of Kaliya was given in Bhagavatam. So when it entered this lake, so it is said, Sanatana Goswami Acharyas mentioned that there is something called Jalastamba. There is a technique called Jalastamba. Using that technique, Kaliya made a palace within that river, within that lake. So the water is generally moving, no? But Kaliya had that power. It could make the moving things into solid, and it made the palace within the that lake. And it said, "This is my territory. The entire whatever is there, this palace and all surroundings are my territory." So in the beginning of Kaliya pastime, what happens was Sukadeva Goswami mentions one line that all the friends of Krishna became unconscious. Krishna, with his merciful glance, he brought them back to the life. And he want to go to next pastime. Then what Sukadeva, Parikshit Maharaj asked, he says this shloka 10.16.3, Brahman Bhagavatas tasya bhumna swachanda vartina gopalodara charitam kash tripyet atmana jushan. Meaning is, O Brahmana, O unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead, the unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead freely acts according to his own desires. Who could be satiated when hearing the nectar of the magnanimous pastimes he performed as a cowherd boy in Vrindavan? So what he was saying, please don't, cut short anything. Please elaborate, what actually happened, why this Kaliya came here, and why it has poisoned the, this lake in the Yamuna river. So what was the reason behind it? So then Sukadeva Goswami started explaining actually. So when Kaliya entered the lake, we all know. Actually, I will try to discuss some lessons from the pastime. So along with the pastime, that's how all the pastimes of Krishna are very relevant, in our life. I was just hearing the lecture on description of autumn and rainy season. So there, Prabhupada and Acharyas and the Bhagavatam is giving so many analogies. It looks very just explanation of nature, but he has given so many lessons. So once we are little bit attentive and careful, every pastime can teach. Like our Acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that, Krishna, why it comes to material world is to show his Leela. Achiya Prapanche. He does the Leela and he attracts the living entities. That is the reason. So that's why these pastimes are very attractive. If we can be little bit focused, then we can learn so much from this pastime. So, like we saw in the case of Dhenukasur, anybody was going above the Talvan, even the bird, he was not allowing. He was just, killing the birds and throwing them away. Because he felt it is my region. Nobody should come. So similarly, the fumes of Kaliya's poison were so dangerous. Any bird or anything was going above the river or that lake, it was, falling unconscious and in the river actually. So, and also all the vegetation, all the plants and trees, so it was also dying, except that Kadamba tree, which Krishna will use, in the upcoming pastime. So that's why Krishna thought, when he understood that this Kaliya has entered this lake, he wanted to teach a lesson to the Kaliya. So that's the very nicely it explains. Lord, what he does, when he wanted to, get into that Yamuna, he does like this. We also, many of our members, they tell, rolling the sleeves. Like, Krishna also does. He doesn't have sleeves, but, he does like this. And he ties his belt. And, like you're preparing. When we go to some service, Maha cleaning. So we tie the, dhoti strong, and like anything, any seva we want to do, we arrange ourselves, right? So similarly, here also Krishna prepare himself. Like, he doesn't have to prepare, but Krishna does it so naturally, as if, it likes it like a motor only. Like a motor. Like, as if a normal person is doing, he does it actually. But he is so amazing, We can't fathom the strength of, Krishna. And from the Kadamba tree, he jumps onto the river. And it is said, the Acharya was saying that when he entered the river, he was making the water like a, rotate in such a way that it was making a musical sound. Like when we want to do musical sound, we need instruments. Otherwise, we make sounds, it's not so attractive. Like suppose we are taking bath, so much sound is coming. But I don't think it's so attractive. But but when Lord is entered the river, when he was making with the water, he was making such amazing musical sounds actually. And when Kaliya, there are many other snakes also. When Kaliya saw somebody is entered its territory, as I said, it made the territory with the poison and the Jalastamba, all these things. It made that palace. So Kaliya understood somebody has entered when Kaliya heard this sound. So then it was very angry, because in the pastime goes, we see that the nature of the serpent is very envious, always, always, like, what you say, coerce. Like you see some people sometime, आप अच्छा भी बात करेंगे, मतलब अच्छा भी बोलता है, वो गुस्सा ही रिप्लाई करते हैं, मतलब some people स्वभाव is like this. So in the end we see that about स्वभाव. मतलब sometimes I interact with such people, I feel, what happened? I just said Hare Krishna, but the other devotee respond, so amazingly, and it becomes very difficult to again, talk to him. So here the snake sometimes is like envious. Whatever you do, it is envious only. That's why we say that if you feed a milk to the serpent, it poison only increase. It will not, it will not become okay. You like our Talasari has a lot of gir cows. We give the nice gir cow's milk. It's not that poison, of the snake will change and it becomes nicely, like a devotees, our brahmacharis, very saintly, jubilant. It doesn't become, because that is the nature of, swabhava. So one devotee was giving example of, suppose you take, pyaz, that, what is it? Onion, and you do चंदन का सैंडलवुड का टुकड़ा करके उसको you put it in the ground with the sandalwood, and गंगा पानी Ganges water you use it to सिंचन करो, मतलब इसको you water it, then also the smell of the onion doesn't leave, it will remain. बदबू आएगा, काटेगा तो आंसू आता है, बदबू आता है. So that is the nature of the people actually. It doesn't go away so fast. It's very difficult actually. So like that, the Kaliya was so envious, of anything, whatever little bit disturbance also, it cannot tolerate. So and then that due to the territory consciousness, in our life also we see that even though some good instructions come to in our life, we don't listen to it. So, like there is a saying that in a Niti Shastra, even if you give a good instruction to a murkha, he will become more agitated. It will not, prakopaya na shantaye. He will not take the good instruction. Rather, he becomes angry with us. Are, why are you giving good instruction? I want to, go to hell. Why you are disturbing me? Right? SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple Shri Gaurnitai ki jai, SriSriRadhaRasbihari ki jai, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. So this is how the nature of the people. If you give them the good instruction, instead of becoming grateful, Are, somebody is, coming and concerned about me. Rather, we feel, Arey, why this devotee is disturbing us? Sometimes we chant in the circles. Some devotee, gently, suppose we are drowsing, somebody comes and wakes us up. So, our nature should be, we should become grateful. Arey, I am chanting the most important activity in our life. Somebody is, waking us up and making more attentive. We should be grateful. But people like me, they become, Arey, I am peacefully taking rest, why this person is rest, disturbing. रात में नींद नहीं आ रहा है, अभी आ रहे है, तो let me sleep. So that is the nature of conditioned soul. It doesn't take the good instruction. Always want to continue its own conditioned nature. Doesn't want to come out of it actually. So then when Krishna entered this shloka, this 9th shloka of the 16th chapter, it mentioned that how the Kaliya saw Krishna with amazing, like a yellow dhoti and dazzling, it's not that the ornaments are making Krishna dazzle. Rather, because of they are on the Krishna's body, they are dazzling, like reverse. And then his feet are resembling the whole of lotus flower, like entire body of the Lord is compared to lotus. His feet are also lotus, we see that. And Lord was playing like fearlessly. He was making that sound with the water. He was very fearless. He was not thinking that, what Kaliya will think or nothing. He was very playful. Krishna's entire pastimes, sometimes we find logic. Why Balram did not come? Why like this? Why like that? But the idea is that, it's a playful pastime. Just like one person said about the movie. When the movie or a drama we see, the logic has to be kept aside. Sometimes Krishna's pastimes are logical, but sometimes they are completely above our consciousness. I was hearing the other pastime of all the Krishna eating lunch with Gopas. Because you see, Krishna is sitting in the middle and everybody was circling, right? One after another. And then how come it happened? Even if physically, if you see, because so-called engineering brain, how can everybody feel that Krishna is sitting in front of me? Can you imagine dimension? Krishna is sitting here, so circle 1, 2, 3. How can everybody feel that, Krishna is sitting right in front of me? So normal आदमी को समझ में नहीं आता है, because he thinks 3 dimension, 4 dimension, like every time they want to put Krishna in their own dimension. But Krishna is not, you can't put, he's the Adokshaja, he is beyond the sense perception. You can't just, put Krishna in his your own calculations. What is that? E is equal to mc square or something like that. You can't put, Krishna's energy in that, equation, try to match. So one devotee was telling that some time back, they made a wall in some country so that a tsunami, when it comes, it can face it. So, but unfortunately, the tsunami came more than its calculated value. They made a wall with certain calculation. The tsunami came with such a value that the entire wall went into the water. So, sometimes we want to fit Krishna's mercy or Krishna's plan in our own, this thing, and everything gets washed away. So, one devotee was mentioning me that, suppose Jagannath is there, like last time we had Jagannath Radhayatra, Jagannath is always smiling. But you want to make Jagannath more smile. Already smiling, you want to make him more smile. You go on to Jagannath and tell Jagannath that, this is my plan. You go to Jagannath and tell that this is my plan. He will laugh all the more. उनका smile और बढ़ेगा. ऐसा क्यों? Because Krishna is the main plan executor. We are just an instrument, but somebody feels, aham karta, I am the doer. Then Krishna, what he will do? It's a joke for Krishna. He will laugh. And Jagannath will laugh all the more and more. So that's why, here also we see that, Krishna is actually, when he entered, Kaliya was thinking that this is my territory. How can Krishna enter here? And Krishna is so beautiful. Krishna, Kaliya ko lag raha hai, Krishna is amazing, he's so beautiful, But that nature of, that envy doesn't allow, that poison, which is, within the head of the snake, it is not allowing him to relish the Krishna's beauty. Rather, it made a disturbance. So sometimes, some devotees good advice, sometimes it happens like that, it is, instead of being grateful, we think that devotee is our enemy. So according to our calculation, like Prahlad says in Bhagavatam, no, we always divide people between our friends and enemies. So kaise, who is our friend? Whoever comes and glorifies us. Prabhuji, aap bahut bade hai, you are so amazing, Then we immediately will become our friend. But sometimes some devotees and tell Prabhuji, you have to improve in this area, you have to improve your chanting or your seva, your consciousness, your service attitude. Then I think he is finding faults with me, he is not my good friend. You made. So the consciousness is making so much difference. The same situation, one person is taking it as a helpful, okay, he is helping me. And other person is taking it as it's a waste of time, and it's actually just finding faults. He is doing Vaishnava aparad. Mere se, you are doing my Vaishnava aparad, I am Vaishnava, and he is offending me actually. So, and then Kaliya saw Krishna, and then what it does, it bites Krishna on the chest, and finally it enwrapped him in the coils. Krishna ko apna coils mein बांध देते हैं. So then that other sloka comes. When they saw that Krishna was bound in the coils of Krishna, the nearby gopas and the cowherd men who were nearby, they become unconscious and they fell to the ground. And you see, this is situation happening on the Yamuna river, the bank of Yamuna river. Everybody was feeling very agitated by seeing Krishna's condition. At the same time, in Vrindavan, all the cowherd men, the gopas and gopis and cows, everybody was feeling some bad omens. Like, the shivering of, the left limbs of the body and so many other things. There are many bad omens which are visible in the Vrindavan area. So generally, it is observed that when we see a bad omen in our life, what happens? We think something bad is going to come to us. Abhi, कोई मेरा financial loss होगा, something I may happen, or sometime it may happen that somebody may die, somebody may become sick in our life, our family, or like that. But the Vrajavasis, when they observed the bad omens, they understood, they thought something inauspicious may be happening to Krishna. Some imminent danger is happening to Krishna. That's why we are seeing these bad omens. So this is amazing. Huh? In the sense that actually the Vrajavasis they are more Krishna consciousness, they are more Krishna conscious than their own conscious. So our Acharyas explain, in connection this, even this Brahma Vimohan Leela, like all the, like Balramji and many others get surprised how this, like the cowherd women in Vrindavan, how they are more attracted to Krishna than their own children. Generally, you see, there is saying in Telugu, Kaki Pilla, Kaki Muddu. That means, if the crow is there, the crow's child is very dear to the crow. That means, because generally it is seen that the parents, kitna bhi galti karta hai, kitna bhi ye karta hai, the children are very dear to them. But in Vrindavan, it is completely opposite. Everyone's, the most dear person in their life is Krishna. So what our Acharya says is that when person is in pure consciousness of Krishna, his Krishna becomes more dear to him than his own life. Matlab, he doesn't mind what happens to him. He only concerned about Krishna. Just like we see in Vrajavasis here, they are not concerned about bad omens, it is going to happen to them. But they are concerned about Krishna, it's anything happening, to them. So then we see that, Krishna and all the cowherd men, everybody comes to the bank of, this thing. And then Krishna was there for a muhurta time in the coils of, Kaliya. And everybody, that intense separation, which is imminent, because they are thinking that Krishna, what will happen to Krishna? Such a big snake, Kaliya is, holding the Krishna. So Krishna wanted to also bring out those feelings of separation from the Vrajavasis actually. So that's why for one muhurta he was in the Kaliya coils. Not that he cannot come out, but that is the, like I said, playful pastime. And then when he understood after Muhurta time, it is becoming unbearable. Our just Vrajavatis cannot tolerate this particular feeling, and then he comes out and the pastime, like he started dancing on the hoods of Kaliya. So there are many aspects to this thing. The first aspect is the stage. We see that generally in our temple, whenever they do cleaning, they put a board, cleaning in progress, walk carefully. So means even if somebody is putting a soap water, little bit, phenol water, it's very difficult to walk. It is slippery. But Krishna was dancing on the slippery hoods of Kaliya. So our devotees explained that how the stage where Krishna was dancing had many aspects. One is it is slippery. Is that very slippery? And second is that it is uneven. Why? As I said, there are many hoods which are chota, little bit small. And there are 100 main hoods and the prime hood. So all these hoods are different height. And then third thing is that it is all moving. That is the most dynamic thing. It's not that, okay, at least it is slippery, it is uneven. Third is, it is dynamic. It is all, dynamically, the Kaliya is moving, it's so dynamically. So, that means how Krishna, then it is said in the Bhagavatam that 21st chapter, the explanation of Krishna comes, very amazing. What it says is that, there is shloka is that, Baraha pidam natavaravapu karnayo karnikaram bebradvasa kanaka kapisham vaijayanti chamalam randran veno radara sudarayo rupayan gopa vrindair vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishad gita kirti. In this shloka, amazing shloka, that word comes is the natavaravapu. So Krishna is not just a dancer or a good dancer or a best dancer, not like that. He is a Natavara Vapu, means he is the personification of art of dance. Can you imagine the difference? Somebody may be expert in some skill. He is the best archer, some Olympic mein medal jita hai, something like that. But Krishna is not like that. He is the personification of the art itself. Just like that's how he could learn 64 arts in 64 days. 64 kalas ko kaise, how did he learn? In 64 days only. Because he himself is the personification of all the arts. Right? So that's why it is called Natavara Vapu. There's a shloka is there, an amazing shloka. It is one of the most famous shloka in Bhagavatam. So then, because he is the master of all these arts, what happens? Then he was expertly dancing on the hoods of Kaliya, with the stage we just mentioned. Then Balramji feels, Hare, I am Anantasesh, I am the main Seshnag, I am the main serpent. But Kaliya is just a water snake, It is just a snake. There are so many snakes. Vasuki hai ye, and so many things are there. It is one of the snakes. Why did Krishna is dancing on the, hoods of Kaliya? Why not on my hoods? Any problem? Like that he thinks. So our acharyas explained later in the Krishna's, pastimes, Kaveri, river Kaveri also wanted, that, Are, why Krishna is not entering my water? He was entering, and waters of Yamuna. So he wanted to fulfill the desire of Kaveri river and Balramji. So that's why what happens? Krishna enters the river of Kaveri and he tells Balramji to you also come. And in the Anantasesh. And on the hoods of Anantasesh, he danced. So and Gopis also watching. Krishna is such an expert dancer. Because he is not just expert dancer, he was able to dance with 10,000 crore gopis. So many gopis are there. So he was able to dance, to that gopis feeling and everything. How he was doing? Because he is a Natavara Vapu. He is a personification of the arts. So then what happened when he started dancing? Then how he was dancing? Krishna, like Kaliya used to become angry at one hood, it tries to dasne ka koshish karta hai, fun se. Then he jumps on that hood and he dances. Then some other hood comes, then he jumps on that hood and he dances. So like that Krishna was dancing so much, Kaliya's head was reeling. Hare, what is happening, Krishna is like jumping like up and down, and no, I never seen such a dancer in my life. And it becomes very fatigued, very like entire energy has gone fully, and then it feels, it remembers the advice of, the consciousness, because when our anarthas get purified, then our Krishna consciousness get more awakened. So here we see that because the poison was going, that's like we call it as in our healthcare detox program. So much detox is happening. So entire detox is happening to Kaliya. Then its consciousness is coming back. The original consciousness of the living entity. So then, Kaliya understand this person already ran away from the other lake because of fear of Garuda. But this person is 1,000 times powerful than Garuda. Already I was fed up with Garuda. Now I see somebody is 1,000 times more powerful than Garuda. That means he is none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Kaliya could get to that understanding because of the purification Krishna is doing. Right? So in our life also, sometimes then there is no difficulty. We become relaxed. Very lax in our practice, or but when some difficulty comes, immediately, okay, I am not the controller, Krishna is the controller, so let me go to the deities and pray. Sometimes the difficulties are very, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, they're stepping stones for our own purification and God consciousness. So that's why when difficulties come, we have to convince ourselves that let us utilize this difficulty to come closer to Krishna, rather than criticizing Krishna or going away from devotees. So that both happens. This when the test comes, somebody writes the exam, somebody passes. The same test, those who did not prepare, they write the exam, they fail. So same way in our life also we may get tests, and then whether we come out of our anarthas and try to see beyond and through the scriptures of Shastras, or taking more shelter of holy name, are we becoming more surrendered to Krishna, or we are becoming go back, aisa hi hota hai, because I am in bhakti there are so many difficulties. So some devotees come and tell, counselors, Prabhuji, before coming to ISKCON, I was having some lust, but after coming to ISKCON my lust has increased, my greed has increased, there's so many anarthas increasing. What is happening? So because the cleaning is happening, we know the reason. The cleaning is happening, then the dust comes to the eyes. When cleaning is not happening, then the entire dust is settled. You can't even see that. When the cleaning happens, so much dust is there. Right? So much lust is there, so much greed is there, so much anger is there in my heart. So we come to know, then we become very disturbed sometime. Why at all so much anarthas are there in my heart? So here also, the Kaliya becomes purified and it understands that the person who is dancing is none other than Krishna. Then once he understands, then it remembers the advice of Patnis, Nagapatnis, the Kaliya wives. So, my wives were mentioning me that I should surrender to Krishna, but I never did it because of my poison, my only venom, and my nature. I never wanted to surrender to Krishna. But now that Krishna is dancing in my hood, I should consider surrendering. So our Acharya says very interesting is that actually Kaliya wives wanted, bhaad mein jao. I don't want this such a husband as Kaliya. Let him go to hell. We want to practice Krishna Bhakti. That's their feeling. But when they observed, Kaliya's feelings and everything, because they know, husband and wife, they know each other, right? They are staying in the same home. So Kaliya's wives understood, some transformation is happening in Kaliya. So immediately they felt, we should protect him now. Initially they thought they should let him go. We don't want him. But now when they understood the Kaliya transformation happening, they come to Krishna and take shelter of Krishna and request, please, liberate I mean to say, please give him the bhakti, don't kill him. Like that, they pray in that mood. They want to protect the husband, actually. So here, we see that, as we discussed, the swabhava of snake or envious person is very dangerous. Like I heard a very neat shloka in my childhood. The serpent's poison is in the, venom is in the head. And the scorpion poison is in the, where? Tail. कभी देखा नहीं क्या? देखा ना? And but a envious person, he has a whole body poison. Snake का तो head में है, scorpion has in tail, but the venomous person, the envious person, he had whole body poison. So that is the amazing explanation given, actually. So that's why Kaliya, one of its prayer, like ask Krishna, we are envious by nature. How can our nature can be given up? Then, as I said, see, Krishna is the manufacturer of everything. It is like we see in the creation, like our devotees explain. Suppose you see the object. When the light is there, it's good. But when light is little down, we see the shadow of that. So Krishna is the shadow is also caused Krishna only. Krishna only causes it. So if you see the swabhava is made by Krishna. Right? And according to our own activities, we are awarded. Suppose we are envious here in this life, then we will become snakes in next life. Because our swabhava, we maintained that. Right? So, Antekale chamameva swaran mukta karevaram. That whatever the consciousness what is antakal ka consciousness kya hoga? Whatever we have cultivated. In throughout life, whatever you cultivated, that is the consciousness and end of our life. We had in seva bhav, then we remember Krishna and devotees and we go back to Godhead. But when we are envious, this fellow is like this fellow is like this, we are fault finding, that only comes at the end of the life. And then we may become snakes or scorpions in the next life, where we bite everybody, we cause a problem to the other living entities. So that's why it is very important. What is our nature? But Krishna can alter our nature. Do you know any example where Krishna altered the nature of the people? Or people are any example, any pastime? Okay, Mrigari. Okay, because of Krishna consciousness, his nature has changed. Kubja. Yeah, any other? I had very nice pastime in the lecture. We remember in Ramayana, right, when they wanted to construct the bridge. So how did they construct? With the stones. It's not a thermocol bridge or something which floats on the water, right? It's a stone bridge. So then if you ask what is the nature of the stone, once you put the stone in the water, it sinks. So nature of conditioned soul also like this. Once you have anything, it gets into it. It gets attached to it. It sinks. Right? So it gets attached to the whatever is there. Anything. Narakastehu deham vai. Even they go to Naraka. In the hell also, the living entity attached to the planet to hell also. It's not that even though so much suffering is coming, in hell maybe you get attached. So sometimes our devotees give example of somebody is like fractured by accident. Unka pair bandha hua hai, haath bandha hua hai. When you go to hospital and ask, how are you? I am fine. I saw in COVID one fellow was about to die. One photograph was kept. He was putting like this. Then he was putting all the equipment. He was putting like this. He was hopeful that he can be saved from COVID and come out and do his sense gratification business continued. So this is the nature of the people. They get attached. You put them wherever you want, they get attached. So here also the nature of the stone is said, it sinks naturally. But when the name of Sri Ram is written on the stone, the nature of stone changed. They started floating in the water. So this is amazing thing. So I am not an expert in this topic, but just this I felt very inspired when I heard that like, how much downtrodden one may be, like the hippies, Srila Prabhupada made them into happies, right? So however your nature is, but somebody takes Krishna consciousness, Krishna's shelter, devotee shelter, you can become a saintly person. Like we say, every saint has a past. Every criminal has his future, something like that, right? So, similarly, in our life also, how much ever bad person we are, if you start becoming Krishna consciousness, everything will change. So, here you see, this is the detox method Krishna used, the dancing technology. Like we have different detox method, like sun bath, mud bath, some of our friends came here for, detox. So, but here Krishna's detox method is dancing, playful pastime dancing. So, when the entire detox happened, then many devotees get doubt, why did Kaliya, even the Kaliya, Nagapatnis come and ask, Krishna, what austerity did Kaliya did, we are doing Ekadashi, everything we are doing. Kaliya kuch nahi kiya hai. How did it get the dust of your lotus feet, and danced for so much time? Krishna was with the association of Kaliya and dancing. Now, how did such a fortune? Then actually our Acharyas explain, because Nagapatnis have prayed for Kaliya previously, that my husband, unko devotee banaiye, please. So that's why in our life, the prayers of devotees are very vital. So it's not just a namesake, Prabhu, please pray for me, please pray for me. One should mean it. Because when the devotee prays, so it gives lot of, like Krishna remembers that, because they don't forget. Like we say, Kaunteya Pratijani Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Because devotees' words are taken more seriously than Lord himself is saying that actually. So that's why when devotee prays for us, then it becomes Lord, sees, okay, this devotee is praying for the other devotee. No, I should do something. So he'll be compelled. So the best way is that we pray to each other. We pray for each other. That, like, one person is there here, everyone prays for each other. There are so many hundreds of devotees praying for each other. So everybody consciousness can improve actually. Sometimes we see something not going correct. So okay, we may try our best to settle it, but it doesn't happen. The best way to offer prayer to deities, and please rectify if you feel so. So this is our amazing tool, amazing siksha is about the power of prayers. Just like Nagapatnis prayed for Kaliya, we see the fortune of Kaliya. Entire detox and entire the fear. Because Krishna tells Kaliya, I don't fear about Garuda now, because I put the stamp of my lotus feet. So Kaliya will never touch you. So how can understand the lotus feet of Krishna? In the past time also, when the entire Vrajavasis wanted to understand where is Krishna, they were following the footsteps of Krishna. Why? Because the footsteps of Krishna is very magical. In our Bhagavatam explains that footsteps of Krishna are very unique. It had so many auspicious marks. What are the marks? All of you might have read Bhagavatam many times. So can anyone tell what are the foot marks, the marks which are there in the lotus feet of Krishna? Okay, lotus. Anything else? Sorry? Okay, anything else? Yeah, Ankush, the elephant gourd. Anything? Flag? Yeah. The main thing I forgot. Yes, one more. I am also half knowledgeable. So if you tell something out of my box, I can't answer. Thunderbolt. That thunderbolt is also there on the lotus feet of Krishna. So it's Bhagavatam says, Sanchintayas Bhagavatas Charanara Vindam Vajrankusad Vajasaro Ruhalanchanajam Uttunga Rakta Vilasannaka Chakravalam Josna Virahata Mahan Hridayandakaram. The lotus feet of Krishna is glorified in this shloka is that is amazing footmarks are there, just like what we discussed, the flag, the thunderbolt, and the splendor of their beautiful ruby nails. Krishna had that nails. The whatever splendor the lightning is coming can dispels our heart. Whatever is the problem in our heart, that the issue with our heart, Krishna can dispel it when we take shelter of lotus feet of Krishna. So because that has that amazing marks in the lotus feet, and although very amazing. Like we see in Mayapur when you go for darshan, like they put the lotus feet of all the all the deities. You see the like Mahaprabhu did lotus feet, Radha Madhava lotus feet. They are footmarks you can observe very nicely. It is I think that is the only temple it has like that. So where we can actually perceive the lotus feet of the Lord with our own eyes. So then there are amazing lessons from this entire pastime. One is we learned just now about the Swabhava. How the Lord, He can change the Swabhava because He is the manufacturer of that Swabhava. He made it actually. So, but we need to have that amazing like process to come out of it. It's not just a joke. Anybody can change their Swabhava. It's not it's one of the toughest thing to change our Swabhava. But Krishna can do that surgery. Very, like we say, minor surgery, major surgery. So the major surgeries can be done by Krishna, the most major surgeries. So then what is Kaliya represents? What we have discussed is the Irsha. What is the Anartha? Kaliya represent Irsha. Irsha English में क्या बोलता है? Envy, no? Envy or comparison mentality. So in our life, whenever, even in bhakti when we are there, we try to compare. And we try to envy other devotees, outside people, everybody. Somebody comes in a big car. को बड़ा गाड़ी है. Somebody is, somebody is very beautiful. अरे भाई, बहुत सुंदर है. So there is actually envy is indirect appreciation. You know that, right? Envy is a indirect appreciation. मतलब when we are becoming envious means we are actually appreciating, but indirectly. So that's why when somebody is very knowledgeable, अरे प्रभु जी स्कॉलर है, बहुत श्लोक है उनके पास, बहुत अच्छा लेक्चर में ये करता है वो करता है, actually it is very nice appreciation, but what is our heart? अरे मैं इतना श्लोक नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, इतना मैं ब्यूटीफुल नहीं हूँ, इतना मैं जब उनका जैसा नहीं करता हूँ. So it's all comparison mentality in our heart. So the envy can take us down, but the positive glorification, appreciation can take us up. The same nature, the same thing, the same aspect. So one thing will take us down when we compare and envy, and compare and get inspired, get appreciate the person. Then what happens? He will get encouraged, and we will also get the quality in us. You know that when we appreciate whatever you appreciate appreciates. Whatever you appreciate, it increases. And if you find faults with others, then ye yathama prapadyante. Faults will come in us. When we see that some fault in others, then it will come in us also. Slowly, slowly. Either it is already there, if not there, it will come. So that's why, it is very important that, we become, we should try our best to create a atmosphere of glorification and appreciation around us. And how to do that? Prabhuji, that devotee is not glorifying me, Prabhuji. Or this devotee is not glorifying me, Prabhuji. No. It's not like that. I should start glorification. I should spread this positiveness of appreciation. Not that you expect other devotees glorify me. Prabhuji, whatever. Our activities, our service. I did so much book distribution. But nobody is glorifying here. So that is not the one. You start glorifying devotees, then that actually spreads the amazing positive vibrance in the ashram and the entire temple in our community of glorifying each other. Try to find the good qualities. See, even that aspect of, I was just hearing, not to, but I want to quote it. Sometimes we may see somebody is getting up little late or anything, but you see outside people, they get up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Somebody is getting at 4:35, whatever. We should, we have to compare and try to see good in others. Sometimes we have to force ourselves, because if you see bad quality, it will come in us. So it is in our own interest. Whatever little does the devotee does, better to see the good. So it is our own interest not to see bad quality in others. In its own, for our own good, we should find good with others. But when we don't do that, what happens? Naturally, fault-finding mentality will come in us. That is natural. Just like our devotees tell, when you throw the stone up, either the motion is, it is up, going up, the physics are going down. It's not like that, It's not that stable air. It is there in the air. No, it will come down. So same way, when we don't try to spread the appreciation, glorification around our atmosphere, that means we are spreading the atmosphere of fault finding. Automatically. Prabhuji, I am neutral, Prabhuji, I don't glorify, I don't find faults. ऐसा होगा ही नहीं. ऐसा होगा ही नहीं. Because when you are not upgrading your consciousness, that means you are degrading your consciousness. So that's why it is very important that, we may be envious of something. Somebody may have good beauty, good, riches. बहुत पैसा है इनका. बहुत बोलते ये रिच ब्रह्मचारी है प्रभु. तो इनका पापा बहुत करोड़पति है. So, but why you are envious? Krishna has given you the most important thing in the Harinam, Bhagavatam. आश्रम में सबको देता है ना. Everybody gets Bhagavatam. It's not that, this Prabhu has Bhagavatam, this doesn't have. Everybody gets Bhagavatam. Everybody can hear. Like, in ISKCON, we don't charge the most valuable things. Sometimes people complain, Are your stall prices are so high. Are Baba, why you are taking that stall? You see, what is our stall? Main stall is this one, the Harinam, the Bhagavatam. The most priceless things we are giving at a cheap price, no cost. You are not looking at it. You are comparing stall and Govindas and all these things. The most important our stall is, because I take care of national accounts, so many people tell this. You're income tax officers, sometimes you have to review your prices. Our prices are here, in Bhagavatam class. You come freely, we will give you. No price. No GST. So nothing. So that's how, the most important, the valuable thing is given at no cost. But that we are not able to take it. And we are finding faults and we are not spreading the consciousness of the glorification. And so that's why we have to force ourselves to create the consciousness with appreciation in and around us. And how to do that? The Falashruti, one of the devotees say, when you hear the Kaliya pastime again and again, this Kaliya Daman Leela, our anartha of envy and Irsha also goes down. Just like Krishna has purified that Kaliya Daman se, Krishna has purified Kaliya. Same way, when we start hearing the Krishna Leela again, not only the Kaliya but every Leela again and again, then our envy also can go down. Slowly it can come down. So this is an amazing lesson. We are giving the solution. How to spread the consciousness of glorification? If you say, I don't want to find faults, it's very difficult. But rather you do the opposite. You do the glorification. You try to see good qualities in others. Jitna bhi kharab hai, Hare, he is there, he is chanting rounds. He is coming, at least taking darshan. How many crores of living entities are not coming to temple and having darshan, not having prasadam? But that devotee is coming, so we should happy, appreciate that aspect at least. Rather than finding, Hare, he is not coming like this, like that. That is not our job. Suppose you are giving that job, somebody as a manager or some counselor, he may have the job, whether my counselor is doing good or not. But for a devotee like us, our job is seeing good in others. Because unless we have any other service like that. And glorifying devotees in and around us. That is our protection. Like, Indra got that quiver of Vishnu Kavach. So, Narayan Kavach. Same way our Narayan Kavach is glorification of devotees. When we are glorifying devotees, sharing Krishna Katha with devotees, then automatically our consciousness, even difficulties are in temple, outside, wherever we go, we can be protected like Narayan Kavach. When we have this amazing sharing Krishna Katha and glorifying each other actually. So, yeah, I think I can pause. It's 9:10, 9:09. So, Grandraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Please forgive me if I said anything out of parampara, and please bless me so that I can at least imbibe something from this. And anybody has any comments or questions, please you may ask now. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for you brought many lessons,
Hare Krishna, praise.
practical lessons from this pastime. Comment, Prabhuji. I really appreciate you brought this point of creating a culture of appreciation in the devotees community.
Yes, Prabhuji.
A
I'm
comment,
trying.
Prabhuji.
I don't know how. I have to learn that. That's why I'm making it a
I'm
point.
starting, Prabhuji. I really appreciate. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
A genuine appreciation, not indirect appreciation.
Hare Krishna.
A comment, Prabhuji. This Kaliya Patnis, Naga Patnis, they got, Prabhupada writes in the purport, they got surprised because of two facts. One is generally most sinful people, they get snake body. So Kaliya was so sinful and he got the sinful body as a Kaliya. But they were surprised to see how come they got the lotus feet, dust of lotus feet on their heads. And they say next shloka that even Lakshmi Devi, she is hankering for the dust of the lotus feet. She didn't got, but he got it. And they expect some reason that in the past life, Kaliya must have performed religious activities with a compassion, great compassion to every living being, without any enviousness.
Yes.
So practicing Krishna consciousness without envy others is a very great challenge, and that is also great opportunity.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you very much,
you.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Hare Krishna.